All right, so I've not done a lot to bodywork yet to kind of put that off. I have like 3 projects kind of going on at the same time. Here's the new thing. This is a 3D printed wing element. I have to go look up again exactly which one I followed. It was like a CH10 profile. Basically just extruded it. These are 2 half-inch conduit pieces, which end up coming out to like 700 thou and some change. The half-inch is the actual inside. And then these will be used for 2 actual wooden dowels, just to kind of help everything stay just even better, whatever. Now, this is made out of PLA. I'll get to you in a second. Over there is what I thought was going to be my final version. So there's still a bolt that's not through here and a bolt that's not through here. This is 1/8 inch L angle. This is made out of PLA for the moment. It's conformed to the trunk. I need to do a little bit more better shaping in the model. It's like hitting the edge here and it's kind of gapped here. I'd kind of rather just kind of maintain that gap all the way around. The holes are already drilled off of the version I'll show you over there. So here's this version. This is the original one. This is what I thought would be final. So this is actually printed out of ABS with if you're aware of 3D printing at least, this is made with a 4 wall count around these holes here. And then obviously all the perimeters have 4 walls. And then it's got a 40% triangle infill, which should be pretty stout. I still haven't decided if I'm going to wrap this with like 2 outer layers of fiberglass and then just kind of roughly scuff it, paint it, and put this back down on it. So you can see like my gap was maintained there. But again, same as the other side. I didn't put this hole in yet. I didn't put that hole in yet. There was also not an adjustment hole drilled in this upright. So really this is an aluminum, or excuse me, this is PET G. The wall count on this is 3 with I think a 15% triangle infill, but it's a pretty thick piece. And then the upright that covers the same shape, which again, there's like a little bit of a gap there. This will all be, when it's done, I'm going to intend on gluing all the pieces together, wood clamps to all put that as one big piece. So the reason I got one over there that I have not, I kind of just threw down there as a test piece, is because yesterday, now granted, again, there's no bolt up here. We're still missing some bolts. But if you're aware, S2000 trunks, they're just thin, man. And they are what they are, which is probably why 9 Lives mount system mounts like that, right? So I grab this wing and I just kind of push it. There can be some movement, don't get me wrong, but that's for the most part pretty stout. I haven't had any issues with my trunk, and I did the CR trunk modifications to it, and that's it. Right here where it bows up, I actually don't have a bow here, so we're still good. Now on this guy, when I go to push side to side, if you watch the trunk itself, don't get me wrong, the car is, probably can't tell, but the car is absolutely moving, but so is this is picking up, and the trunk is kind of denting in. Probably can't tell, but I'm telling you, the whole car is absolutely moving. But the idea behind this plate would be I'd also have 2 extra holes over here going out here just to kind of help bolt it in and secure it more. And this is a wider footprint. Does it look ugly? I don't know. I mean, granted, I don't know whatever color this car will end up being one day, but it hit the track with multiple colors for sure first. This would end up being black. This is arguably about 1/4 inch thick. Again, this is just PLA. I think if I did ABS with the same settings, like I said over there, this plate might be okay holding this all down. I don't know. Again, with some fiberglass on it. Maybe. I don't know. But again, if I push this, I mean, you can see the hole. You can see it's kind of pulling here. This 3rd bolt would probably help it. I mean, I don't know how long before it tries to rip something in the trunk. So the idea would be to disperse more in the trunk here. About to see a horror scene up in here. But let it up gently. Okay. Now where this hole is, you can see where it comes through. I could definitely throw just a big fender washer on here, which would kind of help out a little bit. This one, maybe not. Well, no, I can get something back through there. I got to see here in a minute if I can shim something through here. The idea would be if I can just throw a piece of metal through here that's like, you know, this wide. I know I'm not going to get that one. So big fender washer, these 2, maybe a piece of plate steel, because the 3rd hole is going to come basically where this rubber stop is about. And I don't care, because in case you weren't tracking, there is nothing there anymore. I'm still going to end up like beating some of this back the best I can with pliers and rattle canning it all, you know, whatever. Like here's I still haven't touched again, the driver's side. So, and then we're not going to talk about it, but I used a buddy's flex core welder. It looks like shit. I got these bars in there and I just threw some JB weld on top of it. This is all stout enough that, I mean, I'm shaking the whole car, pushing down on it, but it's pretty haggard ass down here. I need just to figure out next. I took a break from this project. I need to just figure out what I'm going to do as far as putting a bottom on this thing. I thought about taking like, I don't know, some 1/8 inch steel and just putting it on the bottom and just tack welding it around and then putting some seam sealer around it and then just lightly hammer some of this, just sand the hard spots off. And once you just fucking Raptor liner all this, it is going to be what it is. The biggest thing is, in case you're not aware, there's the diff, right? Well, the rear subframe, and here's the actual car. So I need to put something underneath here at least to come forward, just so I can block off any air that comes over the diff, doesn't just, you know, come up in the car. So, and this is the same thing with these holes. So it's kind of what I'm working on at the moment, trying to figure that out. And these holes over here, these two are about like here-ish. Just trying to get an eyeball where they'd be through. Probably gonna be right through this friggin' webbing over here. Second one, arguably gonna be about the same. All right, so there it is. There's the other one installed. Again, no bolts through it yet because I'm not for sure if I'm gonna do this. Probably hard to see, but they contour pretty good to the body line. And obviously some bolts, sucking it down would just kind of send it off that much more. Now again, they're not bolted. And the wing is not fully assembled yet. I'm still printing some pieces. But if I come up here and just push, I mean, the upright has some, but if you watch the trunk deck, like the whole car is moving again, and it's basically like this is flexing. I guess it's pulling, but it's also pulling, it's moving the trunk. So the question is, I wonder, not really a question, but I wonder if I just put these holes in there, use this kind of bracket, and just throw some big fender washers underneath each one of these bolts, if that would be enough. So I'm not going to do it on this side because there's no bolt up there, but there is a bolt in here. If you watch the trunk, now there's no stoppers again, right? With the tail light out, you can see the bolt comes through there. There's no metal. I probably would have to make, maybe add some TPU or something, like right where that meets. Probably put some big TPU bumpers across that. That way this trunk deck can't get pulled down anymore. But let's see, I'm going to grab right here on the wing and kind of just pull back and down. I mean, look at it. I mean, she's moving. So I'm going to need something. I don't know what yet. I mean, the wing, it's holding up there. I mean, I don't know, again, if the mount would... I mean, I'm only pulling on a corner, but it moves. So we're going to have to think of something. Maybe I can re-weld like a piece of metal here or something. It kind of comes across. I can cut this plastic away right here, so I got a good spot for this bolt. And right where this comes, I'll just put a fucking bolt in it. So it kind of makes contact with whatever the stud right here is. That way the trunk can't go down any further. Along with some bumpers up in there. I guess this is one of the interesting things about this being a track rack car is I can kind of get away with doing things that I necessarily would do a lot more thought into this. Not that I don't put thought into what I'm doing right now. It's just I can get away with doing some things that I guess I'm not worried about making a product that I could sell or take off. I just need this to function. And I could absolutely, before someone says it, I could have definitely bought like a wing logic line for cheaper. Well, maybe not cheaper, but this is with the two conduits, the plastic, these two Sencut and stuff. I mean, we're talking the total wing might end up costing me like $150. And yeah, each one of these pieces is about like 10 hours to print.